And welcome back to my channel. Listen, I am going to be shaking the table a little bit when I say this because I know there are a lot of Chrishell apologists and stans and lovers who refuse to see it, but I'm going to say it anyway. I'm sorry, you guys, but I think Chrishell is a mean girl. And I'm wondering if anybody else is ready to admit to this. Like in the first few seasons of Selling Sunset that dropped, I think she did a really good job of hiding it. And it was probably much easier because Christine was around, who really, wanted to be the villain, of the show and to play that up. And that allowed Chrishell to skate by as a victim for the first few seasons. But I started to see that the reason why she and Christine really butted heads a lot is because they actually are quite similar. The main difference, in my opinion, is that Christine can own up to being, a vicious person, but Chrishell cannot. And to be honest with you, I always say this in my video, I prefer people who are upfront about who they are versus people who will have you believe that they are someone completely different. So let's get into some of the instances that happened this season. And then there are some things that happened in a prior season as well that lead me to say this about Chrishell. So the one thing that really, truly jumped out to me last season, for example, was when she was beefing with Nicole, which, mind you, it's 1,000% Nicole's fault. Nicole was acting weird over some beef from years ago that everybody thought was already hashed out and left in the dust, but she kept on bringing over and over and over again, which was annoying. So I understand why Chrishell was pissed off at her. But for Chrishell to get up there in front of the cameras on a globally produced and aired show and accuse Nicole of being on drugs, to me, that was plain mean. And she wouldn't let it go. You could see everybody on the cast was uncomfortable by these allegations. And I think it's likely because all of them do potentially dabble in at least party drugs or whatever. So for one of them to come out and accuse the other of being on drugs when they all probably partake together at least once in a while in social settings, was a little bit outrageous to them. And that's why, no one wanted to back Chrishell up on that. Everybody told her to apologize, but Chrishell is not a good apologizer. She has a problem with admitting that she's wrong or that she's gone too far. And she will just continue to double down. And she actually doubled down on that this season again, which I found to be very mean of her. Nicole has a business reputation, right? Like as a real estate agent, a very successful one. She's got children as well who can see this eventually. So to me, it was really nasty of Chrishell to say something like this. And mind you, Nicole actually did a drug test. I think it was a follicle drug test as well, which I think is the one that goes back years. And it came back clean. So the fact that Chrishell could not take back her, you're on drugs claim at that point was just crazy to me, especially seeing how much it affected Nicole. So that already, I was like, all right, one season without Christine and we're already, the mask is already falling off. Now, as we move into this season, which is season 7, what happens? She is still beefing with Nicole. Neither one of them want to let this issue go. And at a certain point, they're at this party, and for literally no reason, Chrishell accuses Nicole of rearranging her face. And again, it had nothing to do with the argument. It's one thing to defend yourself, to have boundaries, this, that, and the other. But when you do things like this and you say things like this, you're on drugs, you rearrange your face, you're just saying things to be mean for the sake of being mean. These things are just, you're trying to be hurtful. This is below the belt. This is, taking a fight down to the gutter. And to me, people who do that are mean people. We've seen other girls on the show get into fights and whatnot, but we don't see them throwing these kinds of allegations out there. I think that Chrishell has a certain vicious side to her that is very ugly. I'm not, I can't sugarcoat that. And again, just like the drug thing, I wouldn't be surprised if Chrishell participated in party drugs, just like anybody else. I wouldn't be surprised. And then here's the thing. It's just like Chrishell has rearranged her own face as well, right? Her face that she started this show with in season 1 is completely different from the face you see now. And it's doubly completely different from the face you see her with when she first started out as a soap opera actress. So for someone who dabbles in plastic surgery, cosmetic enhancements, we see she very obviously has a boob job as well. To be accusing someone else of rearranging their face as if it's a bad thing, again, it's just someone who is mean and wants to be hurtful, and someone who will accuse you of things that she does herself. And that to me disgusts me because, again, what does Nicole's face have to do with the argument? When you have to talk about someone's looks, you've already lost and you're just nasty. Now, then there's another time when she gets into a beef with Amanza because Chrishell and Emma refused to come to the second dinner that they had in Cabo because, every time they meet up, they had the first dinner, there was a lot of drama. They were over it. So Amanza sent this video like, Chrishell, there's no excuse for you to not be here. Mary and Romain, I feel Mary and Romain are here, and they're going through a tough time and everything. So what's your excuse for not being here? So what does vicious Chrishell do? Because she's upset by this, she starts trying to paint Amanza as an alcoholic. She's like, oh, look at all these text messages I got from Amanza, drunk text messages. And just the way she says it, you can tell that she wants y'all to think that Amanza is a drunk. And I was like, girl, you're already like, going that low on someone that you consider to be a best friend. Like, oof, Lord, God knows, and then there was another part where she strips Amanza of a design job that she was supposed to do for G. Amanza was supposed to decorate G's house because Amanza is an interior decorator. And Chrishell, who is very vengeful and very vicious, whenever she gets upset, she immediately makes G fire Amanza. She's like, I'm so uncomfortable. That makes me G uncomfortable. So we don't want to deal with it. You're out, basically. And it's like, girl, this just happened. Why would you leap to getting your friend fired immediately instead of trying to work things out? Like, why does everything have to be so extreme with her? And this was reminiscent of last season when she was dating Jason. And what happened? She immediately, as the boss's girlfriend, wanted to get Christine fired. She's like, Jason, Christine should be fired. Like, she said it like at least twice. And it was like, oh, now that you're, knocking boots with this man, you think you run the show, right? Like, no, like, it's just so much. She's very, very vengeful. And she's like a dog with a bone whenever she's upset by people. Listen, again, like I said at the top of the thing, her beef with Nicole is valid. Nicole is being ridiculous, bringing up some old stuff from 3 years ago that's very inconsequential now. But to go and talk about her face, accuse her of being of drugs, really ugly behavior. And then the beef with Amanza, just tell your friend, listen, I thought we were friends. I'm really hurt by this video that you sent me. And especially for you to do this in a table full of people, not cool. But then to go and be like, oh, look how she must have been so drunk. Look at all these drunky messages she sent me. And by the way, you're fired. Like, that is just really like, someone who has a very vicious heart. And then there was also another fight that she had with Nicole this season where they're at that same party where Chrishell, with a face full of plastic surgery and fillers and Botox, accused Nicole of rearranging her face. She also went really snappy and said, Nicole, I make more in 5 minutes than you make in 5 years. And it's like, Chrishell, like, what is this? Like, this is just so nasty. What does this have to do with the beef that you guys have? You literally just want to be mean. And, I'm seeing through you. Like, I remember when the first season dropped, my friend and I were like, I don't know. She seems a little bit fake, like a little like victim acty. And so we'll see how she plays out. But now the mask has fully dropped with her. And you can see that she's not who she wants you to believe. Like, again, other girls have gotten in fights and everything like that on the show. But do they hit this hard? Maybe Christine has, but she owned up to her position as the villain, but Chrishell still wants to act like she's just someone finding herself, finding her voice, and finding her boundaries when she says such ugly things. So here's the part where she's telling Nicole that she makes more in 5 minutes than Nicole makes in 5 years, and Nicole really shut her down well here. So take a listen to this audio.
More than you in 5 minutes than you could ever make in 5 years. You've been around for a long time. I'm working on a career a long time. Okay. You rearranged your whole thing. I do know.
So there you go. She goes, I make more in 5 minutes than you make in 5 years. You don't know anything about work. And then when Nicole shuts her down, she's like, okay, Chrishell, Instagram, congratulations. Is that going to be around forever? Because I'm making money, like, through real estate. And then Chrishell, she feels attacked by that and triggered as she goes, well, you rearrange your face. Like, girl, just say you lost the fight already. What is this mess? I'm sorry, y'all, but there's a difference between defending yourself, establishing boundaries, and just being mean. And I'm sorry, but your girl Chrishell is mean. She's a mean girl. I said it. There you go. Let me know what you think. Has this season of Selling Sunset changed your view of Chrishell? Even when she was sitting there talking to Jason's girlfriend, Jason's girlfriend was very obviously, Mary Lou was obviously struggling with English, it being, her second or third language. And Chrishell had no grace for her at all. She was like, oh my God, I feel like I'm losing brain cells. Like, she said that right in front of her. And it was just really nasty. And then there was another like part, like there's just so much that's been happening this season where I'm like, what happened to this girl? Why is she's so mean? Like even at the table at the first dinner where Nicole is trying to explain her feelings and she's like, flustered and she's anxious about it. What does Chrishell say? Spit it out, get to the point. Why don't you say it already? Like she's just really trying to make it even worse for the girl who already is very obviously struggling with some kind of anxiety. And it's like, there goes the mean girl again. Sorry, girl. I know a lot of y'all are not going to agree with me, but I always say how I feel. I keep it real at the end of the day, in my opinion. My opinion is not the objective truth. It's just my view of people. And in my view, Chrishell's a mean girl. Let me know what you think in the comment section. And as usual, we'll chat. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.